What's up guys, my name is Spartan, and welcome back to my tower. It has been a long time since I've said that. This is episode 27 of my Tour My Tower video series. This is a video series where I go through the ins and outs of my tower, talk you guys through the different moves that we're making, the different upgrades we're doing, etc. And today, I actually have a very exciting episode for you guys, and the reason being is because it has actually been over a month since the last episode of Tour My Tower. I know, I'm really sorry guys. You guys have been asking me non-stop for this. And the reason that I kind of took a break from the series is quite frankly because I've been really invested lately in the beginner account related stuff. There's just a huge lack of beginner oriented content, so I really wanted to put some good diligence and effort into getting some stuff established in that front. But now that we've done several different beginner guides, we also have done the beginner account playthrough series and are still doing it as well. I thought it would be appropriate to go ahead and bring this series back so that you guys can see kind of where we started. Tour My Tower was the first series I started here on YouTube. Literally just showcasing my own tower. But first and foremost, you guys can see we are currently farming tier 15. It's been awesome. And I am kind of nearing the end stages of my run. I could probably get another couple hundred waves or so if I wanted to, but I think what we're going to do is actually just end the run right here and move on to the video. Alright, so first and foremost, let's start in the stats page. Okay guys, so last video, I don't even remember how much lifetime coins we were at. We were probably somewhere around 200 little Q. And we, in this past month, have made it up to 2.6 big Q, that is quintillion lifetime earned coins. I would be willing to bet that our lifetime stones earned has also increased quite a bit, but a lot has been happening. A lot has happened over the course of this past month, and I'm very excited to talk you guys through it today. The long and short of it, and probably what the title of this video will reflect, is that I have been working on econ non-stop over this past month. I have done literally nothing else other than invest into econ. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what that looks like in this video, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. But first, let's look at the milestones. I believe last video I was farming around tier 13, maybe even still 12 at that point, but I had moved to glass cannon. And you can see I did tier 13 until I got 6,800 waves, almost 6,900, and then I jumped to tier 14. I stayed in tier 14 the good part of this past month. I spent a really long amount of time doing tier 14, even when I got up to like the 7,000 average per run. And it wasn't really until about a week and a half ago that I started trying out tier 15. And to my surprise, tier 15 seems to be where I should be. The runs in tier 14 were roughly around 5.5–6 hours, versus tier 15 I'm getting basically the same coins and way more cells for about an hour and a half less. So tier 15 has been really nice. In addition to that, we have actually gotten some milestones, so let's walk through that really quickly here. First and foremost, we got all of the tier 15 milestones done, so we got the tech tree skin, we got this thing right here. We also were able to do the same thing on tier 16, so we got the 10% health from the relic, and we also got the cactus skin. In tier 17, we got the dragon skin, but we didn't quite get the nebula relic. So I don't even know what that relic does, but we'll probably try to go for it in the next couple weeks. Obviously, we have about 1,000 waves to go, so hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to get that one as well. In terms of tier 18, I haven't really done too much here, but I did go ahead and unlock the battle condition reduction. This lab is actually really good, especially if you're farming tier 14 or above, like I am. The next thing I'm really excited to try to get is actually the Rhino skin. I think it's going to be really cool when and if we actually get that. In tier 19, we actually were recently able to unlock tier 20. So super excited about that. And in tier 20, really all that we've gotten is up to 66 waves, so we don't quite have the new card unlocked yet. But I haven't tried this in about a couple weeks, so likely if I were to try it right now, I could probably get it. And that's actually going to cover it for the stats page and the milestones. Let's go ahead and talk about the workshop. Alright, so in the workshop, I am still running glass cannon. Surprise. By the way, shout out to all of you guys who have supported me on the glass cannon guide video that I did. That video is honestly one of my best videos that I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it. I feel like it turned out really, really good. So if you guys haven't already seen that video, I'd really appreciate it if you would go check it out. Even if you know that you're not at the stage of glass cannon, it at least could give you some information for later on when you are getting to that point. But in terms of the workshop, currently farming on minimum range, and we'll touch on why a little bit later in the video. So I've got minimum range going. Everything else is pretty standard, except this past couple days I have started experimenting with locking the bounce shot range. So bounce shot range can actually really kill your runs, and the reason being is because when you're in a run and you have the bounce shots going off, if your range is all the way high, it will be proccing chain lightning for enemies that are way out here. Versus if you lock the bounce shot range, they will basically be restricted to a lot less of an area, which essentially translates to buying the enemies more time to actually get into your black holes and die to your coin multipliers. So that's the reason why I've been doing it that way, but it's been pretty good. Likewise, I have like 100 levels in both of the rend armor stats. It's just really expensive. I don't really want to just blow coins to max this out because it's only 300 levels, so it doesn't take very long to max this during the run anyway. Now moving on to the defense tree, we basically are at the point where we have enough coins to effectively max everything out. I do have the shockwave size also devoed. I have it locked with my free upgrade mastery at 1.3 meters. That is because I'm doing minimum range. You can see that when my shockwave goes off, it basically gets right up to just before my orb line, which is exactly what I need. I don't want to be pushing enemies way out here because then the bounce shots will just continue to push them away. I want it to just basically keep enemies inside of my orb line. I don't want to push any past or any less than that. Additionally, I also have all of the landmine stuff devoed as well. This is not locked by the free upgrade mastery, it just gradually over time gets upgraded throughout the run. But again, 50 levels here, 200 here, and 50 here. This all gets maxed way before my intro sprint finishes, but it's fine. And then last but not least, in the workshop we have utility upgrades. So here, this is actually something I'm pretty excited about. I now have enough coins to be able to get enemy health level skips to 50%. Right from the get-go. So what that looks like in terms of levels is 530 levels. So effectively, during the run, I'm able to max out my enemy health level skips in about 200 waves, which is really nice. Likewise, my enemy attack level skips, I just bring these up to level 400 so that I can max these out by about wave 500. Now moving on to workshop enhancements, here's what we got going on here. We've got 127 levels in both damage and super crit multiplier. We have 30 levels in attack speed and 131 levels in crit factor. I've been trying to keep crit factor a little bit higher than my damage and super crit, and basically trying to bring these two up together at a 1-to-1 ratio. This has been really good for just gradually increasing my run efficiency and making sure that I'm actually getting runs going a little bit longer each week. So I've been kind of just putting one click in each of these as I have coins available, but my first priority goes to the coins, which we will talk about in just a moment. Now moving on to the defense enhancements, I know it looks a little bit weird. I have some stuff into my EHP, and the reason for that is essentially for the overcharge enemies. I want to have a little bit of a buffer just so that I can hopefully survive those overcharge enemies. Those are generally speaking what kill me the most. But as you can see, I've also put quite a bit of investment into my orb size, which has been really nice. Likewise, I have a little bit into landmine damage. I think this is like 60 levels. Last but not least, let's go ahead and touch on the ultimate weapons. So within the ultimate weapons, a lot has actually changed here. First and foremost, I ended up actually maxing out the chance for Spotlight. First and foremost, I actually did end up maxing out the chance for Chain Lightning. This has been really good. I was basically three clicks shy of maxing it, so I wanted to just go ahead and get it done, so that basically it would just make my Chain Lightning a little bit more reliable. That has proven very true. Just from doing these 3 upgrades, it gained me in tier 15 about 300 waves, so really good. And really quickly, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, go ahead and do me a favor for the algorithm and smash that like button, and also drop a comment below and let me know how your tower's doing. I really appreciate the support. Now moving on, I've put a little bit of investment into smart missiles, not a whole lot, just a few clicks here and there into like cooldown and quantity for the time being. Probably not going to touch this that much more in the near future. It's just there's better places that my stones could be going. But during this past month, I did put a little bit of investment into smart missiles. Next on the list is Death Wave. I still have one click in quantity that I probably need to think about getting done pretty soon. I think that would just help me with my sell and coin income. But again, there's more important stuff that I really want to get done, which we'll talk about here shortly. I do have 2 more clicks that I need to get done on Death Wave cooldown. Then that will be at 50 seconds, which is really, really good. Moving on to Chrono Field. Chrono Field, this is probably how it looked pretty close in the last episode of the series, but we have permanent Chrono Field, max speed reduction. It's really, really good. Chrono Loop, we have level 6 currently. This is a big priority for me. I really want to get Chrono Loop up a little bit higher just to basically give my runs a little bit more buffer space before the enemies can actually start hurting me. So I'm probably going to try at a minimum to take this up 1 more level in the semi-near future, but likely I'd like to get it up to 10 as quickly as possible. Now moving on, Inner Landmines, have not touched them since I unlocked them and basically did this. I got the quantity maxed and I got the cooldown to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This just gives me everything I need for Inner Landmines, which is effectively just extra crowd control. Alright, now this is going to be pretty insane for you guys to see. So first and foremost, like I mentioned previously, I have been non-stop working on econ related stuff predominantly. And what that mainly looks like is actually Golden Tower Plus. So my Golden Tower Plus is currently level 13, which is really, really good. You can see the last level for Golden Combo actually costs 4,150 stones, which is absolutely insane. Like, that is just so many stones. I've been following this chart that basically tells me the end goal is you want to have max Golden Combo, and you want Golden Tower duration to be 75 seconds. So basically 5 more clicks here. And then at that point, my Golden Tower will actually be pretty much done. Like, pretty much. The bonus is not as important as these two. This is just uptime. The one silver lining is I do now have permanent Golden Tower, even if I don't use Galaxy Compressor, which is really, really good. But yeah, this has definitely been a huge, huge stone sink in terms of this past month. I have put so many stones in Golden Combo. Now moving on to Poison Swamp. Poison Swamp, this, I don't know if I actually had permanent Poison Swamp during last video or not, but we have permanent Poison Swamp, duration 70, cooldown minute 10, which is 70. So we have permanent Poison Swamp. I did put a little bit of investment into the damage for that. It's been a really good secondary damage source next to my Chain Lightning. It's definitely helped out quite a bit. Now moving on to Black Hole. Have not touched it at all since last video. Last but not least, Spotlight. The only thing I've really done here is put a couple clicks into the Spotlight bonus. Kind of the same sentiment I had with maxing the Chain Lightning chance. I think it did buy me a little bit of waves. I think it's been pretty good. Maybe not as much in farming, but definitely noticeable in tournaments. That's actually going to cover it for the workshop, enhancements, and ultimate weapons. Let's go ahead and talk about the cards. Alright, so within the cards, I now have 20 card slots, which I think is maybe 2 more than last video. I got 1 from the vault and then 1 with gems, I believe. And yeah, in terms of masteries, these are the current masteries that I have. I have Damage Mastery, which is totally done. I have Cash Mastery, which is currently level 2. I have Coins Mastery. This is a new one from last video, and that one is fully maxed. I also have Enemy Balance Mastery, which is also fully maxed. I have Fortress Mastery, which, you know, we'll get to it someday. Free Upgrade Mastery with 1 level, which gives me 2 locks, which is basically what I need for the time being. Intra Sprint Mastery, which is now fully maxed. This one is actually really, really nice. Takes me up to 1800 waves, which is fantastic. I also have Recovery Package Chance Mastery, which, you guessed it, is fully maxed. You guys can hopefully see where most of my lab effort went this past month. Next I have Super Tower Mastery, which is fully maxed. Really, really good. Super Tower is actually really good. I basically get a permanent Super Tower now, which is fantastic. Then the last 2 here, we have Demon Mode Mastery, which is maxed. And we have Wave Excel Mastery, which, you guessed it, is fully maxed. In terms of the next card mastery that I'm considering getting, for the Econ category, it's definitely a toss-up between Wave Skip and Extra Orbs, although I will say I'm probably going to get Wave Skip before Extra Orb Mastery. I just think wave skip will be better, especially because I'm already using wave skip for my farming, and I don't have a card slot to put in extra orb. And in the damage category, there's really two that are kind of eyeing me at the moment, and that is Ultimate Crit Mastery. I think this would just be really good. At max level, this will basically just double the chance that I get ultimate crits, which is actually super important. Currently I have a 3% chance of critical damage equaling this much extra damage. Obviously, if I can get this chance doubled, that would be amazing. Just 6% instead of 3% makes a huge difference. And likewise, the only other one that I'm really considering is actually Berserker Mastery. This one seems really good. Obviously, the damage buff is way better. The damage cap, it raises it from ×8 to ×500. The only issue is, it's a little bit more RNG based, it's a little bit more luck based, just really depending on how many death defies that you get. But this one would still be really good because I do definitely get some death defies. Like in those later stages of the run where enemies are actually starting to kind of hit you and tickle you, it would be really nice to get this mastery going so that I could just get this extra added damage buff. That's actually going to wrap it up for the cards. Let's go ahead and talk about the modules. Alright, so in the modules category, oh boy, we have a lot going on here. First and foremost, we have had 2 featured banners since the last video. So I did get a 1-star restorative bonus, but this module has really not been very good for me. I don't know, maybe it's good for you guys. I have not really found that it's been super helpful for me personally. And I also, more recently, got a 2-star orbital augment. This one, kind of a similar sentiment. I think if I were still EHP or hybrid, this would be a lot more appealing, but because I'm doing strict glass cannon, it's really been kind of underwhelming. I did test it recently in Legends League tournaments against my anti-cube portal, and orbital augment basically cost me about 300 waves versus my anti-cube portal. Again, I have heard a lot of people say that this module is really good for like EHP, and also you can do kind of like the infinite strategy or whatever. I haven't really looked into it because I just finally got to glass cannon and I much prefer just doing my current build. It's what I've wanted to do since I started playing this game. I definitely think this is a good module, but definitely more EHP heavy than glass cannon in my opinion. In terms of my current 5 stars, I currently have Death Penalty 5-starred, I have Sharp Fortitude, I also have Black Hole Digester, Harmony Conductor, and Chip. That is currently what I have 5-starred at the moment. I think I need like one more Amplifying Strike to get this 5-starred. I couldn't quite get it. But the one thing I'm really excited about is look at all of these module levels. A lot of this comes down to both getting the Shatter Shards lab done, but more importantly getting the Recovery Package Mastery done. That one has really been a game changer for me. But yeah, we're slowly but surely just kind of trying to raise these levels up, as well as I'm trying to get the assist modules up a little bit. Oh, and by the way, we have 2 assist modules. We have the generator and the core. This is currently what mine are looking like here. I put a little bit into the multiplier efficiency. Obviously, I'd like to get these a little bit higher later on, because they do definitely help. I don't know if the generator has really been nearly as effective as like my golden combo, for example, but it has been useful in tournaments, especially for like the ultimate weapon duration battle condition. That one's been really nice because then I can put project funding plus G-comp as the assist. But in terms of like just farming, I don't know if I've actually really gained that much from this, really. I think I've actually gained more from farming just by being able to put the Dimension Core in with my Multiverse Nexus. That's kind of what we're looking at. I'm probably not really going to touch assist modules near future. I really just want to finish out Golden Combo, get that totally done, so that I never have to look at it ever again. That's actually going to cover it for the modules. Let's go ahead and open up the labs. Alright, so in the labs, I guess let's just go ahead and talk about kind of what I have done. But first, let's talk about what I'm currently doing. My main goal at the moment, I've spent the past like several months working on strictly econ. So my priorities are beginning to shift. I'm now looking into working on stuff that will basically boost my actual performance in both tournaments and farming. What that looks like is my damage labs, bringing up attack speed to max, bringing up damage to max, then bringing up crit factor to max. That's going to be the priority for probably both of these labs here. In lab 3, I kind of just have it as a floating ultimate weapon lab. I did a few levels of like chain lightning shock chance, Now I'm currently working on missile radius. I don't really know why, but I just have it in here. Lab 2, I have battle condition reduction. This one is really, really good, but it gets super, super expensive. Then last but not least, Lab 1, I currently just have inner landmine speed rotation. I have 2 more levels in that, and then that lab will be finished. I'll get to hopefully put something a little bit more useful in there. But in terms of the actual history that we've been working on, let me just show you. So we've done a whole lot of different stuff in here. I'll just briefly scroll down so that you can see. I want to start working on spotlight missiles at some point, just give me a little bit of extra damage output. I did some missile amplifier, the missile radius obviously. I also brought the lightning amplifier for scatters up to level 10. I don't really see a need to go past that, but I was dying quite a bit to scatters recently, and that was actually before the scatter bug. So I wanted to raise this up a little bit just to give me some more reliable runs against the scatter enemy. The level 10 has been more than sufficient for that. I also went ahead and maxed out wall invincibility. This one is actually pretty helpful. It comes in clutch more times than you would actually think. I want to also begin working on module coin cost at some point, as my module levels are definitely starting to get into the queues in terms of how expensive they are. And, oh boy, okay, this is awkward. So, I know that you guys see 5 levels of max interest, and you can see the time it took me to get them. Don't try to run the math on that, just if you're curious about it, you can check out the YouTube short that I made. Long story short, during a live stream, I may or may not have gym rushed max interest, but we don't have to talk about the details. Started also putting a few levels here and there into like range, why not? Then now we're getting into the last few like mastery levels. But the point is, you can see we did like golden bot duration, a bunch of different stuff. Things have been going really good. In terms of my actual labs, I'll just show you how we're looking currently. I'll just briefly scroll down. We have quite a few gold boxes. We will never forget this one. This one we will never forget. My current plan for damage is I want to basically bring up damage and crit factor both by 5 levels at a time. Like, once this last level of damage finishes, I'll start working on crit factor until it is 65 as well, and then go back to damage, basically until both of these are maxed. That's my current plan with these. My EHP category, nothing super exciting here. I have a couple more levels of wall rebuild. That's probably going to be on the priority list pretty soon, just kind of giving me a little bit more reliability with the 4th energy shield. So that's going to be my goal pretty soon, is to finish this as well. I also want to start getting some more investment into cash bonus. I think cash bonus will actually be pretty good for me. And oh, what is this? What is this right here? Coins per kill bonus is fully maxed. We did it. We finally maxed this. It's been really good. Especially since I'm now using Black Hole Digester as my primary module. Coins per kill bonus definitely has been a good thing to go ahead and get to max. And guess what? Now I never have to look at it again. Never. I just get to have it maxed. Moving on, I do want to finish out enemy attack level skip at some point, just not super big on the priority list at the moment. Like I said, I'm currently working on missile radius. I'm doing the last level currently there. Then I'm probably going to start working on like chronofield reduction, or maybe some of the like swamp labs. Poison swamp labs are actually really good. Like I said, I put some levels into shock chance. I'm like a little bit over halfway, but I don't think I really want to go past 22% for now. It's been pretty sufficient for me. I guess if I continue to go higher, it would just be a little bit more reliable, but this one we might put on the back burner for the meantime. Missile amplifier is definitely one that I also want to kind of start working on. After I get the missile radius done, I will probably put in the missile amplifier, just so that each of the missiles get stronger and stronger. Likewise, I already mentioned it, I'd like to continue to work on spotlight missiles and get some more work into that. I think it's going to be good. I would also like to pretty soon start working on the Swamp Rend. I want to get all 6 of these levels done so that it just gets all of the enemies covered. Then I want to start working on the actual damage thing, so Swamp Rend. Basic enemies are hurt by the Poison Swamp. That damage is boosted by a percentage of the Rend armor multiplier. I think that this will help me. I don't know for sure, but I have a hunch that this might actually be pretty good. Chain Thunder doesn't really bother me because I'm doing Glass Cannon, not a huge deal. But maybe this would be something I could do as sort of a safeguard against the overcharge enemies. I don't know, maybe. Deathwave armor stripping and Deathwave damage amplifier. Probably damage amplifier I'm not going to really worry about, but the armor stripping, This one might be a good one to do. I'm not entirely sure. Under the card research, you can see we've done a few different things. We finished out Recharge Second Wind. That one's been really good. We also have finished basically all of the card masteries that we really care about for the meantime. I think out of the current list, the next one I probably want to do is either Cash or Fortress. Probably Cash first for the reroll shards, and then maybe Fortress after that. Here's an interesting one. I went from 4 band perks to 6. I found out with Glass Cannon there's a lot more stuff that can kind of screw you over, so I wanted to go ahead and get 6 band perks. Probably at some point I might try to get these last 2 levels, but you can see the time is just, it's stupid how much time this takes. Under the bots, I have a few more levels in the Golden Bot cooldown, but I currently have a natural sync with my Multiverse Nexus cooldown, so I don't know if I want to really finish this or not. And duration, I definitely want to finish it, but like I mentioned, I've spent 3 months working on Econ basically, so I want to take a break from Econ for the meantime and start developing my damage a little bit more. I think I'll get more value from that than getting an extra couple seconds on Golden Bot duration. Under the enemies, I haven't really done anything here. I did put a few levels into the enemy ranged range. That one has basically been pretty detrimental to me. I would get chipped down by ranged enemies pretty frequently, so this one's definitely been nice to kind of get some couple levels in. Just 1% lower range overall, but combining that with the black hole disable ranged enemies, it's been pretty good. And in the modules category, this is the next big one on my priority list. The reason being, module levels are going to begin to get super expensive. This is 100% one that I'm going to start trying to work on pretty quick. And on the bright side, with these, I will actually get refunded quite a bit of coins once I get this fully maxed. I believe it has a similar kind of effect as the module shard cost, where each time you do one of these levels or a few of these levels, you can basically remove the levels from your module and then re-input it, and you'll get a lot of those coins refunded. I did get 1 core effect ban. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about maybe trying to do a couple of these at some point, but the amount of time it takes is just stupid, so I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon. I really want to get my damage stuff going first. Then last but not least, the battle conditions. I have a whole bunch of these labs available to do, but you can see they are very expensive. Even the battle condition reduction, it has 10 levels and I'm on level 6 currently, and the upgrade to go to 7 is 62 Q coins. It's a lot, but currently this is definitely one that I want to try to make sure I always have enough coins to do, because it's actually really important, both for tournaments but also just your normal kind of farming runs. And speaking of tournaments, let's go ahead and talk about them. Alright, so we are still in Legends League. Let me just show up the history here. We recently hit a personal best on waves. So our previous best prior to this tournament was 1406, and we now got 1437. So still have not ever beat rank 6 because the brackets are just getting more and more competitive. It's been a challenge, I'm not even going to lie to you. But you can see over time, so long as we've been in Legends League, we have slowly been increasing over time. Just the wave count, the rank, until now we are up in the 1400s. So really happy with that. Obviously at some point I would love to be able to get even higher, like rank 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 again. But, you know, if it happens, it happens. But I'm really in no rush to try to work on this. And in terms of the vault, we've done a lot of stuff in the vault. So let me just give you the rundown. We got a couple card slots. You can see here we've gotten 2 card slots from the vault. We also went ahead and just rushed all the way to the top and finished out all of the discounts, the enhancement and the reroll discounts. All of those are now done. The most recent thing that I got in the vault was actually the Workshop Orb Adjuster. This allows me to farm at minimum range, which has been pretty good for my coin income. It allows me to, with the extra orb card equipped, adjust the range of my workshop orbs, which is really good. I think in terms of the next thing that I want to get, it's probably kind of a toss-up between the auto restart run or the last level of the workshop respec discount, so that I could basically get free respec. I think right now I'm leaning more towards the workshop respec discount so that I can eventually try to get the workshop presets. I think that would be a pretty good quality of life thing, so I wouldn't have to respec for tournaments. And in the power tree, nothing else has really happened here. all we have is the 5% ultimate weapon damage boost. At some point, I want to start working this way and start kind of getting some of these stat bonuses, but 20 keys for 2 meter bot range is just, it's not a priority at the moment. Now moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the guilds. Alright, so shout out to This Is Sparta. You guys are awesome. You guys are killing it. We're already almost at the 250 chest, and it's been basically a day, which is great. In terms of the Guardian, I've been using both fetch and summon. I did respec my bounty chip. I took everything that I had out of it, and now I've basically been trying to put everything I have into summon. Summon has actually been massive for my coin income. It's been really good. Likewise, my fetch is effectively good enough to get all of the daily caps. So my current plan, like I mentioned, I have a Multiverse Nexus sync of 56 seconds, and therefore I have a 2-to-1 sync with my summon and my fetch chip. So 112 seconds divided by 2, 56, and now my next priority is basically maxing out the duration for summon. That's going to be my main goal for the Guardian bits. In terms of the store tokens, we have quite a bit of stuff already purchased here. Did like 1 level in the gyms because I was probably like just shy of a 10 pull or something. We went ahead and got like the background, the menu, the profile banner. Next stop is going to be getting both of these Guardian skins. And we did also go ahead and get the increased crit factor. And yeah, with that, that's actually going to conclude this episode of Tour My Tower. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you stuck around this long, thank you. Thank you for watching this long. The watch time, you guys actually watching the entire video, it really does help a lot with the algorithm, so I really appreciate you guys. Last little thing here, we have a Discord server with 2,800 people in it. 2,800, you heard me correctly, it's insane. We got a mentor program, we got tower resources, voice channels, everything you could possibly think of, it's there. So if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description, and if you're not already in the Discord, what are you doing? Get in there, we're having a good time. Likewise, if you want to support me and my content, there's a couple ways that you can do that. First and foremost, we have YouTube memberships. I do a monthly giveaway for the YouTube members only, so feel free to hit the join button below if you'd like to look into that. And lastly, please consider using my content creator code. My code is code 300. You can enter my code both on the actual game itself and also the web store. If you do try to enter my code on the web store, just be aware you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of the actual web store. So you'll scroll all the way down, and then you'll see the Support a Content Creator button here. You'll just do code 300, hit save. And just remember, the codes do sometimes expire from your specific account. So what I've been telling people is basically if you want to continue to support me, just double check and make sure that the code's there each time that you make a purchase. And also, if you want to purchase things, I would recommend trying to purchase from the web store itself. You actually get quite a big boost in terms of gems per like stone pack, for example. You get a 10% boost on gems from purchasing from the web store. And selfishly, I get a slightly higher commission if you do purchase from the web store. That being said, thank you guys so much for all the support and love that we've had on the channel. I really do appreciate it. You guys are great. And with that, that's going to conclude the contents of today's episode. But thank you guys so much for watching, and like always, I will see you guys later.